No shame. This is a welcoming environment. It's all
Take
good.
them out right now. There's no Yoda.
No Force, no Yoda. Different franchise. To those people who are new to the, to this world, what would you say makes this different than all the other franchises that we got to see at Comic-Con?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say welcome to the fan base. I would say welcome to the culture.
Yes, it's more than a community, it's really a culture.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody
Yeah, get ready for a big, deep rabbit hole, my friend. Just go to Memory Alpha on.
But this series we like to think is the best series for the Star Trek uninitiated because of the standalone episodic nature, which also is like the original series was. You don't have to have too much background information except for that we are sort of the prequel of the Enterprise before Captain Kirk's Enterprise. We were the crew that existed for 10 years before them. So that's all you need to know. Speaking just to you now, gentlemen.
I'm honored.
Is there, we already got to experience one season, now season 2 is on Sky Showtime. Is there any piece of Star Trek trivia that you can share with us now that you guys have been in these roles for quite a while?
So most of you, I'm sure, know that there were 2 pilots for the original series, right? You know this? Yes. That the original pilot, The Cage, was with Jeffrey Hunter playing Captain Pike. That did not get picked up. And Gene Roddenberry, as determined as ever, retained ownership of the pilot or bought it back, I'm not sure which. And then later on, got greenlit to do another pilot, same idea, when Jeffrey Hunter was not available, so they brought in William Shatner to play Captain Kirk, and the network said to Roddenberry, based on their notes on the first pilot, they said, okay, you got 2 choices. You get rid of the woman, or you get rid of the guy with the ears. Because everybody had trouble believing that a woman would be a first officer. That was just crazy science fiction. And so he elected to keep Spock, and then as a consolation prize for Major Barrett Gordon, who was
The original number 1.
and his wife, right. He wrote her another role, that of Nurse Chapel. And so that's how we have Nurse Chapel.
I mean, I love that piece of trivia. If you guys can step one step forward, because the lights are in your eyes. Now, Rebecca, I know you are a big fan. You've been a big fan of the Star Trek universe. What was it like to wear that costume for the first time?
That was the first pinch me moment. Anson and I mean, everybody who makes our show is a Trekkie. Everyone behind the scenes, we all are Trekkies in our own right. Everyone just pours their heart and souls into this particular series. Anson and I were both introduced to the original series by our mothers around the same age, 7 or 8. And when I went in for my first fitting for my gold uniform was the first time I started to cry. Just tears to my eyes, I just couldn't even believe it. Then the second time was when we first walked onto the set of the bridge of the Enterprise. It was an out-of-body experience. It was really a dreams do come true moment for us, because the set itself of the bridge is almost a 360-degree set with a low ceiling, and you feel like you are in Star Trek. It's such a crazy experience.
Love it. What was it like for you, Anson?
My first experience of it really was when I got to sit in the chair for the first time. Hello. Technology. When I got to sit in the chair for the first time, I had this immediate flashback to, and I hadn't thought about it in years. I had this immediate flashback to being that age, 7 or 8, and playing Star Trek as my make-believe game with my friends. We would pull the dining room chairs up to the fireplace of my parents' home, and that was our console part of the bridge, and we would argue over who would get to play Kirk and who would get to play Spike. There was never a new Uhura because girls wouldn't play with us. and I suddenly realized I'm still doing it, and it was quite an emotional experience for me. And it's still now, every day I'm on set, I look around and I cannot believe I'm on Star Trek.
That's so cool. Now we're gonna watch season 2. What can we expect? What is different from season 1?
Well, bigger and better is all I can say. We were given a lot more freedom by our executives after the first season. Some of the risks that we took in some of the episodes from the first season that the executives weren't so sure about ended up being the episodes that really popped. And so for season 2, they sort of let us go, and so we went. We boldly went, and we hope everybody enjoys it. We're extremely proud of season 2, and go.
The last thing you want to do in a sophomore season of a TV show is just try to deliver the same thing.
Not deliver the same thing.
No, we did not. Because inevitably you're going to bore people. You're going to bore yourself. So we wanted to keep taking big swings, and our conversations start with genre. What have we not done? What worlds do we want to exist in? And we try to keep the job very exciting for ourselves, and it is, and we are enormously grateful that we can take you along for the ride. And honestly, if I could say one more thing, as you've heard, this job for us is a dream come true, and there is only one reason that we can do this and live out this dream, and that is you.
Yeah.
So thank you.
The fandom is such an incredible part of this. Thank you all.
I think as much as they love hearing you guys talk, they also want to see what we have for them. So, would you like to introduce it?
Hey, graag gedaan. Welkom thank you all so much for joining us. Hanson?
What she said.
Heel jongens, ik wil jullie heel erg veel plezier wensen met Star Trek Strange New Worlds seizoen 2. En ik wil nog een heel groot applaus voor deze twee.
Leef lang en mooi!